All right, so just a quick review for 123, Computer Science Essentials 123. This is what your screen should look like for 123, your designer screen. This is the screen for what the code is that we got started with last week. So we initialized our global to size 0, initialized global price to 0. We got ourselves a procedure and we typed area formula in here. So it needs to be 2 procedure results. You have a variable right here with a mutator in it because you need 2. Initialize local pi to 3.14. Initialize local R 2 with our blocks. And then in our math function with the mutator, really don't need that if you have to have it, and our global sizes. So now we're going to start with number 6. We're going to start right here with number 6. So number 6 says create a procedure that will return a result. Create a procedure that will return a result. What result do we need? What result do we need? Create a procedure that returns a result. Gentlemen and ladies, what result do we need? Name the procedure, price per area. Okay, so we have to get a procedure. So we go into procedures. Okay, and it's a result. Create a procedure that will return a result. See result right here? See result? Result. Create a procedure to return a result. What do we call that procedure? What do we call that procedure? Price per area. Okay, so we just created a procedure called price per area. So A, create a local variable for area that calls the area formula. So what are our variables? What are our variables? Right here. Variables. And it says we have to create a local variable. So we're not initializing a global, we are creating a local. And I'll give you a hint. You need this one right here. Okay. And that should have been obvious because of the little puzzle piece. Right. Okay. So what do we call this one? Create a local variable for area that calls the area formula. Area formula. Area formula. Okay. To call a procedure, grab the appropriate call block from the procedures drawer. So here's our procedures. All right. So we go to procedures and we need to call area formula. So we just did A. B, add a local variable for cost that will get the global price of the pizza that the user will enter. Okay. So what do we need? We need one more in here. We need to add our mutator. So we need to add something underneath area formula. Okay. We need to change that to cost. Okay, so we're going to change this to cost. And then we need to get global price. So is there anything in our screen here that says global price? Do we see anything in here that says global price? Or is that on our variables right here? Where is it? Montreal, where is it? How do we fix this one? How do we do this? Kevin, where is it? It's in variables? Okay. And what do we do? Get. And what are we supposed to put in here? What's this? Global price. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Okay, so we just did B. C. You're welcome. All right, so C, using an arithmetic or arithmetic. Gentlemen, you're making me be loud. I don't like that. Okay, so using arithmetic operators, which would tell you need to go to math. Get the local cost variable and divide. So what kind of math, what math function are we going to get? What math function are we going to get? There's your lemonade. We're going to get a division. Robin's got it. So we're going to get a division function. I'll call the custodians to let them know. Okay, using the arithmetic operators inside the local variable, get the local cost. What goes here? What goes here? What goes here? Using arithmetic operators inside the local variable, get the local cost variable and divide it by the local area variable. Now, yours in here, they could say local cost, they could say local area. All right. You have just finished everything. You have just finished everything in number 6. Number 7 says test and debug and adjust what your app does. Your app do what you want it to do? Okay, now we're going to work on calling a procedure. Number 8. All right. To test the procedures, you need an event handler for the calculate button. One of its tasks will be to set the global variables to the user inputs for size and price. Number 8, set up the calculate.click event handler. Is there anywhere in here that we have a calculate dot? Do we have a calculate dot click? Oh, look at that right here. Calculate. Let's click calculate. We need when calculate dot click do. Okay. See all these other little fun things? This is what we need, an event handler. Now I'm going to give you a clue. You're going to need one more event handler that it really doesn't, the instructions really don't explain. And you're going to need, let's see, can't find it in there. So you are going to need this control that says if, then, else if, then, and drop that in there. So this is where we're working right now. It's right here. So we just did A. Now you need to set a global price to input one dot text. So let's find price input one dot text. And we need a set. Do you see a set in here? Here's a set. That actually goes down here in the bottom. First, we need our variables, set. And then we need, I'm going to give you a clue. You're going to need another set variable. That's going to go right there. So this one is going to be global price. This one is going to be global size, but I'm not going to select that yet because we haven't gotten there. Okay. So set global price right here, set global price to price one input dot text. Find your price one input, and you can grab this one. You can go here, change this to text. Yeah, look all the way in the back of that drawer. Okay, so we have our global price and our input one, and we change that to text. So now we need to set, like, oh, before I get ahead of myself. Okay, so we did that. We did global price. Now we need to do global size. So we change this set that we already put in there to global size. And then we go to size one input. So find size one input over here in your blocks drawer. Size one input. You're going to grab a size one input, drop that in there, change color to text. You just click that drop down and change what's in there to make sure it says text. Okay. So then we get set, and we put that right here, which I accidentally grabbed it earlier from set one price one input. Okay, so that would be here, set, change this to text. So this one should say set price one input to text or dot text to. Now this is the fun part. We need this mutator, this join with the mutator button. Put that right there. And you need 4 spots. 2, 3, 4. So in D it says set result one output dot text to. Okay. Which we have price one. Oh, I'm sorry. Change the this should not be price one. This should be result one. Sorry, I apologize. So let's get rid of that. And we're going to delete that one. So we need the one that says result one output. Set result one output. Any one of those works because you're changing this to text. Then you're putting your text with the 4 empty spaces in there. You're going to need a text, plain text in the top here. Duplicate that. Put that in the third one down. So on the first one, calls for the area formula. So we need to find our area formula. What's our area formula? Procedures. Procedures. Call area formula is going to go here. Make this text say area. Okay. In the second one, our instructions say price per area. So we go to procedures and we call price per area. Okay. And cost per square inch. All right. So we have area formula, cost per square inch. Whoop, let me cost per, put space in there. Yes, ma'am. Oh, 22147. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. So this is an example underneath number 8 of, and now there's nothing in the blanks because your description may be different, but that's why they don't put anything in there. But this is what it should look like. So we have our calculate dot click. Now we still have spaces. We have an if and then an L, a then, and then an else if, and then a then that we have to fill in. That's where we start with number 9. Now, yes, sir. Price per area. Could you get that from procedures? Did you create that in your procedures? Okay, you have to create that in your procedures. Wait, don't they got a name in the design? Excuse me? Don't they got a name in the design? No, you got Mm-mm. In procedures. So when you get your procedure to do or to result, then you just type in here what you want that procedure to be. See? You just highlight and click and you type in here what you want that procedure to be. You title it. Uh-huh. So you need 2 procedures. You need 1 procedure, 2 results. So one of them needs to say area formula. And you should already have those because that's what those first 2 procedure blocks are that we'd already done. So one needs to say area formula, one needs to say price per area. Okay. So here in calculate.click, we need to add some things in these missing little puzzle piece spots. That's where number 9 comes in. Number 9, you need to test and debug. And then now we're working on conditionals to prevent a broken appearance. Oh my gosh. So in number 10, it says for when the user needs to change their inputs, use a chained conditional statement, Boolean expressions, and logical operators to provide input to the user through the result one output. Okay. So look here. Look at all these goodies. Look at all those goodies. Look at all those goodies. Whoop. Minimize that. Okay, so I'm gonna follow along. So right here in the very first one it says if we need some logic. Remember, it says that we're going to be using logic. So we need some logic. And our first logic that we need is going to be an or. So we're going to drop that here in the first if. And you ready for this? You need a logic inside that first puzzle piece box. And we're going to grab that one right here. Guess what? You need this one again. So we're going to duplicate that and we're going to put that right here. Think about this as a word problem where you have to fill in the blanks. So here's our word problem. Here's our word sentence, and we have to fill in these blanks now. Okay, so our very first one is going to be price one input. So if the logic of price one input, so get a price one input, come down here, and we need this kind of teal green looking guy. Change this to text. For which one? Did you set size, price? So cost, did you set a local cost? See right here, initialize local. Did you call that cost? Okay. All right. So whoop, I keep going the wrong way. I keep using the wrong thing to move with. Okay, so price, so you should have price one input text equals, and you just need a blank text in here for now. Or leave that as an or, and you make this one size one input because remember, we're working at prices and sizes. So find size one input. We need this guy. Change it to text, correct. Drop that in there. And then what do you think we need behind the equal sign? The text. Just leave them blank for now. Yeah, leave them blank for now. You create it. You create your area formula. Initialize local. When you get this mutator, You just type, you know how it's blank or it has something else in there? You just type area formula in there. Latrell, can you reach over and help her for a second? Thank you. So in our then space, what we need to do, so in our then space, we have to set our result one output because this is result one. Remember we used result one, huh? Which one? Okay. So right here, so if the price of the input text is, or the size one text is, then we have to set our result. So a then is a result, okay? Result one output. So fine, let's see, do we have a result one? Look at that, we have a result one output. And we have to set our result one output text. And if you notice, it wouldn't click in there until I changed it to text because we're working with all text right here. We're working with all text with what the customer is going to see. It will because there's no puzzle piece here at the end. You haven't added anything to the end. So what do you think we need to add at the end? Another text. Yeah. So let's go to a text. And now this one is going to tell our customer whether or not they typed in the appropriate information. Now, if they leave it blank, this is where we're going to say that something like you didn't enter anything, your entry was left blank. Please add a number. Okay, so result one text. Your entry was blank. Please add a number. Else if I just got a period there. Your entry was blank. Please add a number. So now here in our else if, we have to decide, is that a number? So else, if it is a number, see this guy right here? See this if, and we have this logic? We need to do the same thing. We need to add some logic. Okay, so do we go here? Okay, else if, we need a mutator. We need our or again. We're going to put that here. And then we need two logics. We need two more logics, two equal signs again. It's almost duplicate of what we did the first time. It's set up the same. So now in this first else if it's a number, if it's a number, so if they inserted a number, and look, scroll all the way down. So if this is a number for right up here in math, it's at the bottom of that list. Then to add on to here, see we have an empty spot right here. Okay. We got to put the price in there. So if the number price.text, price.text, right there, equals, what do you think? We need a logic, true or false? So if the price one input text equals false. So in other words, if they didn't put anything in there, or we need another number. We can just put that right there. Okay. If the number, but this cannot say price, it's got to say size input. So size 1 input equals text. What do you think goes here? Think about it.
False. No, false.
False. Very good. False. You got it. False. Okay. Equals false. So that's what we have in that big long string. We have just one more thing to do here. So what do we have right here? Result 1. So result 1 output. So because we're still working on result 1 output, I'm going to like use my duplicate because I know that's what goes here. But we have to change this text as a reminder again. Okay. We could say something like, please enter a number, or please enter numbers only, or enter numbers only. Yeah. Okay. You can put an exclamation mark in there. Please enter numbers only. So we just did everything from up to 11. Do try to do everything else by yourself. Awesome. See, I knew you could do it. He's on number 27. Okay. So work on everything by yourself. And here's another clue. See, we don't have any warning signs. So every block, whether or not it works, we don't know yet because we haven't tested it. Okay. But we know that we don't have any critical warnings. We also know that we don't have any critical errors because we have a 0 here and a 0 here. So we know that it's put together well and that everything matches, but whether it works, we don't know. So from this point on, I would like you to complete the rest of it on your own.